When is the right time to ask someone out? It's a tricky question with a very tricky answer, and sadly, it's not a one-size-fits-all situation because it's a case of psychoanalyzing your current situation with your crush and then kind of going from there. And to make things a little bit easier, you do need to see some positive signs that he or she is delivering. And this video is going to give you lots of those signs so that you know that you can ask someone out without having that fear of rejection, not really being too sure if they like you back or not. And of course, if someone does not like you and doesn't show you any of the signs in today's video, then it's best to just leave them be. There would never be a relationship between you both. And of course, if someone does like you, it doesn't really matter if you should wait 3 days or even 3 weeks to ask them out, because you need to make sure that this person has this urge to want to talk to you, and you both obviously have that need to make sure you are building lots of attraction, sexual attraction between each other. So in the meantime, the longer you wait, the more passion is going to be burning. But the more signs from today's video that this person displays is a big consideration of chance that this person is attracted to you and they most definitely want you two to be a thing. My name is Anna and welcome to the channel. They have asked about your relationship status. It's a question that you don't just randomly ask someone, because if you do, naturally it's because you are interested to find out about their dating situation for your own benefit. So listen out for this question where they want to know if you are single, and they also want to know what your previous relationship was like in case they can't live up to a previous standard of someone that you've dated, or if they need to know if they would potentially be a rebound because you're not quite over your ex. They have made it clear that they are single. This is the person indirectly telling you that they are available. They make it very obvious and say that they are single and that they are hoping to find Mr. or Mrs. Right, and they do the very subtle thing of hinting they have deleted all of their dating apps and how they just miss having a relationship and those deep night conversations with a partner. They don't talk about other interests. If someone is only interested in you, you will notice that they never bring up another person that might fancy them. They don't even talk about other guys or even talk about other women. They don't want to suggest there's any competition because they are solely trying to be exclusive to you. So listen out for this, because they will drop this very subtly, some small hints inside the conversations. They always help you out. If there is a certain someone that always wants to help you out to achieve something small or even to help you with a mundane task, it's a big sign that they are interested in you and trying to make a good appearance. You may notice that they are more willing to offer to do things with you that you know they would normally find boring. For example, you may say, "I'm actually going fishing at the weekend," but the lady turns around and says, "Never been fishing before, but you know what? It might be pretty fun. I'll grab my boots." But you know deep down that she would most always definitely turn this down and say it was boring. This is because this person is trying to put on a big impression to make sure that you guys are compatible. And that is a sign that it's a good time to ask this person out on a date. They're always wanting to take pictures with you. If someone gets out a camera or tries to take a selfie then smushes you into the frame, it's because they really want to have a long-lasting impression with you. It's a great time to ask them out. They always hint at going out with you. If there's lots of jokey comments about going out together for dinner or going on holiday together, or maybe they even suggest that you guys do something that isn't considered romantic, it is still them beating around the bush, kind of waiting to see how you feel, trying to get you to go on a low-key date but not a date type thing. Their friends always act a little strange. Now, this will not apply to every person watching this video. However, if you guys share the same friend group or you work together, notice how the work colleagues or friends act when you two are together. If they act a little bit strange, as if they are forcing this person, like, "Come on, go make a move." If that happens, you need to ask this person out pretty much instantly, because the friends already know about you and everyone is rooting for you guys to get together. The hot and cold behaviour. A woman tries to test a man's attention by ignoring him to see how he responds. So if you notice that one day she's all over you and joking with you, then the next day she's completely switched off and cold, it's because she's trying to get you to come over to her to make an effort because she doesn't know if you like her. And in this situation, if you come over and say, I know what you're doing, I really like you, let's date, she will be over the moon. She always tries to be alone with you. You may have a situation at work where you guys need to go off and do something together, and she always suggests that it's just you guys doing it alone. Or if you hang out in a friend group, it's always her suggesting that you two go off and do something, even if it's subtle. For example, help me at the bar get the drinks for everyone else, or can you come to my house on Saturday before we go to the beach? She's always trying to have that one-on-one time with you. This person is always in touch. When we like someone, we can't help but think about them all the time. So you may notice she's always hitting up your phone, tagging you in memes, or sending you work-related office jargon, which makes you question why Becky is sending you emails at 10:30 in the afternoon about Tuesday's meeting. Leaves you thinking, is she doing this on purpose because she really likes her job, or does she fancy me? She fancies you, bud. Another big sign is that they tease you, because teasing is a surefire sign of flirting. They are directing the conversation towards you and giving you full attention, and it's building that humour of banter. And teasing is a great way to just relieve the tension and have a great time with someone. It's a big sign that they are interested, and when you notice this, it's a good time to start thinking about their other signs in the video to see if they really do like you. They are always talking about things that you have in common. When someone fancies you, they will try to make themselves appear more compatible towards you, or you will notice that this person slightly changes their interests or talks about the things that they know you are interested in to come across as more compatible in a relationship with you. If you both love politics, you will notice the conversation always sways towards politics. If you both like Lord of the Rings, you will notice that the conversation goes towards the film or the novels. They ask about important people to you. Naturally, we become very curious about the person we fancy, so expect them to want to know more about your friends and your family. And at this point, they are trying to get to know you on a deeper level, so it's a great time to ask them out. They may ask you simple questions, for example, where did you grow up, what your parents are like? So don't ignore this sign, because it's a sign they are very interested, and try to figure out what the future parent-in-laws are like. The compliments. Complimenting someone is a pretty obvious sign, isn't it, that someone has interest in you. So you need to analyse the compliment that they are giving you. It could be generic, where they're just saying, hey, that haircut looks pretty good. Or if they give you an emotional connection during this compliment, it's a huge sign that they basically want you to ask them out. For example, they may say, I can't believe you spend so many hours in the evening building this personal project. That is amazing. Tell me more. I'm so interested. Keep going. Now, this is a more unique compliment, because they have invested their time and realize how much time you have put into something. This is a very deep emotional connection that they have with you, which basically means you need to ask them out. They try to make an effort with your friends. When we are trying to build a life together with someone, we want a lot of the people in that close circle to also like us. We try as hard as we can to be compatible on so many levels. So you may notice that this person tries to include themselves in a group date with your friends. Or perhaps if you guys are playing games online together, this person is very chatty towards your friends to make a great impression, so that your friends may turn around and say, that person's pretty awesome, and why are you guys not dating yet? They are constantly hanging around you. We just can't help it. When we are close to our crush, we just want to hang out with them all day. So if you guys work together, you are going to notice this person is always lingering around you, trying to extend conversations and drag out the work meetings, just so they can maximize that beautiful time with you. Or you will even notice that the conversations on Facebook Messenger never really seem to die. They get dragged out a lot, and you may notice you may end a conversation, and then 20 minutes later, they are asking you more questions. There's a lot of eye contact. Just like we can't help it, we have to get close to our crushes, we can't help but engage in intimate eye contact. So expect this person to be engaging in strong eye contact that lasts longer than 3 seconds. And if you stare back at this person with the same amount of intensity, and they continue to stare, it's a big sign that you are both attracted to each other equally. And yeah, you need to go out on a date, figure out if you guys are compatible. They try to touch you. Physical intimacy is something only reserved for those that we are in a relationship with or trying to get into a relationship with. Therefore, if this person is trying to physically engage with you, it's a big sign of interest. Naturally, we pull away when a stranger enters into our personal circle. For example, in a queue, or if they reach across to get something off a shelf in a store, we are very much like, whoa, go back over there, lady. So we are very conscious of how close we are next to people, which makes sense. Because when we go on a train together, we don't always sit right next to a stranger, do we? We choose to go to the empty seat, or at least leave a gap between you and the stranger. But if you notice that this specific person is always closing in that gap and trying to touch you and get very close, it's a big sign that you need to ask them out because you may potentially have bagged yourself a girlfriend or a boyfriend. Thank you for getting to the end of the video. That really means a lot. And something that you can do to really make my day is to subscribe to the membership on our channel. The link in the description bar below will tell you more about what that entails. But specifically, you get your name up on our super fan board right here. These are some amazing people that support the channel every single month. If you appreciate the amount of content that we are pumping out on a weekly basis, then this is a great way to say thank you. I really hope you have an amazing day. See you in the next video.